and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Jonathan Den. First of all, Jonathan, thank you so much for sitting in for us the past couple of days.
Not a problem.
Had a chance to experience a little bit of northern Michigan. Not a lot of color up there, but there were some isolated spots where they tell me that the reds were quite vibrant and the yellows were really golden.
It'll definitely be there before long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to work at it.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a whole lot that goes into making the leaves change, but basically, you can't have as much sunlight, and that's what happens in the fall, and that's one of the many things that cause the colors to come out. And from what I understand, the colors that are out are quite vibrant, very pretty. So hopefully, over the next week or so, if you are going to be traveling up north, and maybe in your backyard, you'll begin to see some colors out there as we try to celebrate a normal October, which hasn't really been
We're trying.
very normal at all. Temperature-wise, we've been running a little chilly, and obviously for some of you, you have been getting a little bit wet, but we haven't been breaking any records as far as moisture goes. Precipitation pattern, for the most part, has been quite light. What are we looking at right now on the thermometer?
Well, right now out at the airport, they're reporting cloudy skies and 50 degrees. Downtown Midland's up to 53. Here at Radio Center, we're at 51. We do have a southwest breeze at 7 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is holding steady at 29.85.
Northern Michigan probably picking up the most precipitation, at least over the last 24 hours for us in the Great Lakes Bay region. Maybe a tenth of an inch here and there. Most locations a little bit less. Over the past 3 days, we've seen tenth of an inch, 15 hundredths of an inch overall. That's been pretty much it. But as we move into the second half of the work week, we're on hump day today, moving into especially tomorrow night and into Friday and Saturday. We are looking at a major system that is going to be affecting our weather. Currently, that low pressure system is over Wyoming. It's going to move into and around Kansas and then eventually work its way closer to us into Iowa. The warm front ahead of it is going to be the culprit when it comes to giving us precipitation. And that warm front is going to be moving up through the state as we go through the day on Friday. Thursday night, maybe a chance of seeing a shower or two as that front will be pushing up. But for right now, we're just looking at a strip of precipitation that's literally following the 96-69 highway and everything to just the immediate south. Very light precipitation, not a lot of heavy stuff there at all. And as we go through the day, that is going to dissipate and break down. So moving into the afternoon, the sunshine that they've been experiencing in northern Michigan this morning is going to be dropping down into the central part of the state. Taking a look at some of the reporting stations, we are looking at mostly sunny skies this hour in the Alpena area, Bel Air, Cadillac, looking at Gaylord, Grayling, Oscoda. For the most part, mostly sunny skies. We're seeing some clouds also. Then in the Upper Peninsula, other than the far west side of the UP, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies and a little bit of light rain in the central part and the far eastern part of the UP this hour. Pontiac, as we said, one of the locations reporting some drizzle, some light rain in the Grand Rapids area. And again, all of that activity is pretty much following the 69-96 corridor, but it is breaking down. Over the last 24 hours, as far as reports are concerned, we did see Fife Lake picking up about 1/4 of an inch. Old Mission, also in northern Michigan, about 3/10. Petoskey had 12 hundredths of an inch. Sault Ste. Marie had 12 hundredths of an inch. Traverse City picking up about 12 hundredths of an inch of rain as well. Looking ahead, forecast 56 with some sun as we go through the afternoon. We're going to need that sun to get there, John. looking for isolated sprinkles here and there, especially over the noon hour yet. But then moving into the afternoon, things should begin to break down. The clouds will be breaking up tonight. And as a result, it is going to drop. Our temperatures will be a little bit on the chilly side again. We should be at 44, 43 degrees right now. We'll drop down to 40 for a low tonight. Shower activity, if there is any, is going to be running the Michigan border and south, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, as we go into the nighttime hours. And eventually it will push up from the south as we go through the late afternoon and the evening hours tomorrow. Tomorrow, more in the way of sunshine. Temperatures will respond, 59, 60 degrees, not out of the question at all. We'll have a northeast breeze, so it is going to feel chilly, about 10, 12 miles per hour tomorrow. 47 for a low tomorrow night. Again, that chances of showers will pick up, especially after midnight tomorrow night. Then moving into the day on Friday, 3-letter word, not a 4-letter, 3-letter word, wet. Capital W-E-T. It is going to be wet, 51 for a high. That low pressure will be over Iowa. The warm front is going to be moving up through the state. It does appear as though the chances of precipitation will increase in your backyard, especially as we move into the afternoon hours on Friday. By Friday night, it's just going to be an overall shower activity, not overall the Great Lakes Bay area, but a good portion of the state. We'll have 51 for a high, 47 for a low. And on top of all of that, we'll have an east wind gusting to 25 miles per hour on Friday, especially Friday afternoon. Saturday, not much better. It is going to be a wet day, shower activity, pretty much total coverage over the entire peninsula on Saturday, 50 for a high, 48 for a low on Saturday night, as the showers will continue. Then during the day on Sunday, 52 for a high, 42 for a low, mostly cloudy skies, still a chance of some showers, but it's going to become a little bit more scattered. Then on Monday and Tuesday, clouds, showers both days, 52 for a high both days, 42 for a low both days. And again, the chances of precipitation finally beginning to taper off by Tuesday. But looking toward the tail end of the work week next week, I think our precipitation pattern is going to drop off a little bit. We are going to be looking at below average on the moisture pattern, not only beginning about the 16th of the month, but running all the way through the 24th. Temperature pattern is going to try to recover a little bit. We should be average as we move into the weekend next weekend, and then we'll have a warm-up. We'll be above average once we move into the final full week of the month of October. Record high in the state is 85. That was set back in 1928. Record low 25. That was set back in 1964. Quite a temperature variance there from the record high to the record low. But that's indicative of our spring and our fall, the months, and especially in October. A year ago today on this day, 77 was our high, 38 was our low.
Wow.
So a big temperature variance there. We picked up about 1/4 of an inch a year ago. Warmest ever, October the 12th, or 11th, I should say, set back in 1928. 85 was our high, 65 was our low. We had a pretty mild one. Sun sets this evening at 7 o'clock. Rises tomorrow morning at 7:47. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Jonathan, who do we have on deck?
We'll be talking with Cody Harris from Star of the West to start off our market report today. Then we'll head over to Doug Klein at Oppenheimer. All of that's ahead. But first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Risk management is what it's all about. And Mr. Farmer, hopefully you were working with the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency this year. We did see some crop damage out there. Risk management is all about taking care of the bad things, covering yourself, and being able to take care of and handle the good things as well. Take advantage of those. Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency is licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can reach their agents directly on the cell for questions or emergencies, or you can call them up and reset the office, 989-868-4722. And by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, those Farmall tractors, they're ready to move into your farm, your operation, and make your job a whole lot easier. Case IH Farmall tractors range anywhere from 35 to 140 horse, so getting the job done starts with choosing that right horsepower model Farmall tractor. You can see anything from the Value Pack Farmall Compact A Series to the Deluxe Compact Farmall C and C Series with cabs. Tractor does it all, so no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farmall. See them today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. And Cody, I was taking a look at some of the crop progress reports, not only here in the state of Michigan, but also all across the country. There's a lot of harvesting going on right now, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Across the country, we're definitely moving and shaking. It seems like, we got a little bit of weather front coming in kind of out west, kind of that I-80 corridor. That may slow some things down, but as far as everything's concerned, it seems like, especially out on the corn side of things, I think I remember reading we're like 34% complete, which is a bit higher than the 5-year average. Then looking at beans, we're just right on, I think, that 5-year average. I think beans are like 43% done up, which is maybe lower than what traders are expected, but we're right on average. So we're definitely moving and shaking across the country. If we could just get a little break in this little weather here we got here in Michigan, we'd pick up some ground as well.
Yeah, sugar beet harvest, obviously, a lot of producers have been digging around. Some fields are muddy, other fields not all that bad. But at least we don't have to worry now about warmer temperatures. So, the factory can begin to handle a few more beets if the guys can get them out. But all eyes, as you said, are on that system, which is going to be moving into the central part of the country. And it does look like this is going to be a wet system to contend with. Oh,
yes. So that's where I know a lot of guys I've even talked to today are trying to get a lot of things done, even some wheat planting before this system comes our way. And hopefully we can get there and do that, but we've made great progress so far.
What are we looking at on the board right now, Cody?
I wish I had some good news, but we're getting beat up, especially on the soybeans and wheat side of things. Corn's kind of holding its own. We're right around kind of unchanged right now, but looking at the way everything sits, we got cash wheat. That's down 5 at the moment, 5.14 on the white, 4.44 on the red. New crop 2024 wheat, that's down 5 as well. 6.14 on the white, 5.44 on the red. Looking at cash and new crop corn, I'm going to call it up 1 at the moment at 4.22. And then cash and new crop soybeans, those are down 14 this morning at 11.78.
Boy, I guess we are getting beat up. Anything in particular that jumps out at you?
Well, we have the October USDA report tomorrow coming out, so I think you're seeing maybe some setup for that as far as I think corn and wheat's concerned. You kind of look over at soybeans, though. The world vegetable market's really taking a hit this morning, so I think you're seeing that kind of pull back a little bit. Also, like I said, we were talking, I think we're way in front or maybe right ahead of where guys were thinking progress is as far as harvesting beans are. So we're a little on kind of the positive side as that's concerned. But, I mean, I think right now outside market focus is really what that market's looking at. You got the expanding conflict between Israel and Hamas. That's definitely front and center. And I know so far, it's not resulted in any major, change in crude or commodity prices, but that bean market is really influenced by kind of what's going on over there right now.
Yeah. We got two things going on. We got the Middle East, and then we've got the Ukraine. So anything can happen at any moment.
That is very true. Oh, yeah. Lots to keep an eye on, for sure.
Boy, there sure is. Cody, have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Doug Klein up next, John?
Yes, indeed. We'll head over to Oppenheimer and talk with Doug. The market report today brought to you by Thumb Bank and Trust, making agricultural loans all the way back since 1895. They know that farming today continues to offer challenges that are very demanding, and Thumb Bank and Trust helps you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. Thumb Bank and Trust, now with 13 locations throughout the Thumb and in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. As well as by Schaefer and Beerline. The seasons are changing, and so is the new Ram truck inventory at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. 2023 HDs are still coming in, and the 2024 1500s are arriving. So if you are in the market for a new Ram 1500, a Ram heavy-duty pickup, a ProMaster van, or a Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a Business Link dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, then it's time to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Let's head on over and talk with Doug Klein now. Doug, good morning.
Hey,
Good
Doug.
morning.
How's
Hi.
everything going?
Well, it's a weird day again. Energy prices are down 2.5%, 2.9% today. And you wouldn't think that, considering all the turmoil we have in the world. So that's going on. Exxon is buying Pioneer Resources for $60 billion. So there's a little consolidation in that energy market, so to speak. So that's kind of interesting. And read an article that said that gas prices are probably going to go down around 50 cents a gallon by the end of the month. At least, we've been talking about that with the futures contract setting so low and wondering why the gas prices are so high at the pump for us. So that's actually going to come to fruition, but it's going to take a couple of weeks. So if you can run on fumes for a couple more weeks, you might be rewarded for it.
I'm driving 25 mile per hour now.
Have to ride the ponies into work for a couple
I think
of weeks
so.
or something. Oh my. But so that's what's going on. Let me give you the numbers. The December corn is 4.86.5, up a penny. March corn is 5.02, up 0.75 penny. November soybeans 12.57 1/4, down 14 1/4. March soybeans 12.88 1/4, down 12 1/4. The December wheat 5.54 1/4, down 4 1/4, and March wheat is 5.85 1/2, down 4 1/2. Crude oil is 83.86, down $2.11. Heating oil is 296.51, down 5 1/2 cents. Gasoline 221.17, down 4.7 cents. Natural gas 328 1/2, that's down almost a dime. Over to currencies. Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3607 at the border. That is up 24 ticks. The dollar buys 149.03 yen. That's up 33 ticks. The euro is at 106.12, up 9 ticks. The dollar is at 105.70, down 12 ticks. Gold is at 1869.10. That's up $8.10. Silver is 22.17, up 21.5 cents. Platinum's at 883.80, down $1.60.
You have a good one, Doug. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All righty.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. A little tough for me to say today. Still trying to get rid of this sinus stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of it for another couple of weeks or so. Freeland Bean and Grain, not a problem when it comes to questions. Vic Huffer over at Freeland Bean and Grain, he's their certified crop advisor, and he's been working with a lot of folks here over the past few weeks. Soil preparation for next year. Now's a good time to be doing that. Now's a good time to be contacting the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. Serving you since 1983. Where serving you is their business. When we return, Jerry Samolsky joining us.
Yes, indeed. We'll talk with Jerry right after this.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Why do I go by Shaw? Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor
to make my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R to
do both vegetables and my flowers. It's exciting, putting yourself out there, learning something new.
And with a long list of easy-to-attach implements, ranging from a front loader to a box blade and backhoe, they both can make
The earth take the shape that I want it to take.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1-Series tractor for just $130 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Contact with Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
This year, Dairyland Seed is introducing our best corn of all time. Again. That sound you just heard? That's the sound of a full lineup of top-performing hybrids, bringing the yield like never before. It's the sound of even stronger traits bred specifically to boost corn bushels per acre in your soil. And it's the sound of workhorse corn seed proven to outperform yet again in independent head-to-head trials. See the latest corn performance data at showmethecornyield.com. That's showmethecornyield.com.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Jerry Samolsky going to talk to us about planting today, John?
Yeah, Jerry, what do you got for us today?
Yes, Terry. Yeah, Terry, we'll talk about planting, but this goes back to a lot of your program. It talks about risk. The crop insurance is about risk. The markets are all about risk, and when do you buy, when do you sell? Well, the same kind of thing happens in your yard with planting. So we say planting season should be wrapping up for evergreens and maybe some of the least hardy perennials at this point. But that said, it depends on the season. You can plant them in December. So it's all about risk. So I'm going to say, typically we're going to say that we don't want to be planting evergreens too much later than the next couple weeks. And the same thing by transplanting or planting a lot of those perennials, the risk increases greatly the later that you plant. So deciduous trees, on the other hand, and shrubs, they don't care so much. They've got a greater risk tolerance. You can plant them later in the season, and it all works. So there's no magic number that you do it this way and this is the date and that's how you do it. But it just takes on a greater risk. So let's get those evergreens in the ground and those perennials in the ground. We'll call it a day.
All right. Jerry, thanks a lot. Tomorrow, the plant of the week, right?
Yes, and if anybody wants to look, it's heptacodium. We'll talk about what we really call it later.
Gesundheit. We'll talk to you later. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Don Morris Seeds. Predictability in farming is next to impossible until now. Pivot Bio provides a more reliable, more predictable source of nitrogen. Pivot Bio delivers nitrogen directly to the plant throughout the growing season because it adheres directly to the root. Pivot Bio doesn't wash away in the rain. Plant more predictability next season with Pivot Bio. Learn more at pivotbio.com. Contact Don Morris or Allie Morris and find out how to get Pivot Bio products in your operation. Don's number is 989-239-2791, or you can get a hold of Allie, 989-780-3770. We'll be right back. Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444.
A bag of corn is, well, a bag of corn, unless it's a bag of Pioneer brand Chrome seed corn. Then you're dealing with the most optimized yield potential, agronomic performance, and insect protection the Pioneer lineup has to offer. A bag that will make life easier for you, 8 bushels per acre easier, and much harder for rootworms than the competition. Pioneer brand Chrome products, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/plantchrome.
Let's find out what we should be doing in those yield areas. High yield, I hope. Ed Benkert from Nutrien Ag. What's going on out there right now?
Yeah, Terry. Thanks for having me on. I've been spending the last probably 10 days in a lot of our plots, been with some product managers from Dynagrow. And it's interesting to see the differences in how varieties look just based on geographic areas in the state, soil types, agronomic practices, et cetera. And I guess one thing I would just caution producers is not to jump to conclusions on one variety on one field. Evaluate your whole operation, work with your crop consultant. We've got a robust set of data from plots throughout the entire state, and it's all Michigan data, so we can query that and really drill in on products and have 1 or 2 years of performance versus one field, one area in a field. In particular, soybeans with white mold. We've had some areas where that's been an issue, and it could be a very good variety. Maybe it's placement, maybe it's population. Could be a lot of factors, and we don't want to throw a variety out just on one area and one field.
Well, no, and there's so many different varieties. A farmer these days, he can cherry pick stuff. It's nice to have someone direct them certain ways.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing myself and Bill Webster, working with our crop consultants to make sure that we're making those good decisions. A lot of seeds being sold right now, a lot of decisions are being made, and there's some early order deadlines coming up next week within Nutrien, and we want to make sure we go in the right direction and pick the right products, and we've got the data to back that up.
Fantastic. Ed Benkert, take care. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
we'll talk to you again, okay?
Yeah, thanks, Terry.
All righty. We'll be right back.
Looking for bigger, bolder, better yields? Look no further than FS Seed. FS Envision Seed Corn and FS High Soy Soybeans are here to change the game. Our seed products deliver winning results every single time. Your local FS crop specialist is ready to take your farm and yields to the next level. Ready to change the game with bin-busting yields at harvest? Reach out to your local FS retailer or visit fsseed.com.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Stop by and see how they can become your hometown financial solution. Find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. And by the folks at Steiner Tractor, new parts for old tractors made easy. Telephone number 800-234-3280. Or go to steinertractor.com. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studio.